Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Broadcast.gg, our wonderful South American broadcast of these wonderful contenders. On this virtual desk with me is LaFon and Lemon. Welcome to the virtual desk side and out of the caster's booth. Fantastic match that we just got to see played out. But now we're on to the middle and the meat of the sandwich of the day. One of my and very anticipated matches for me personally, as we're going to see a team walk away with a loss. Team that we're going to be able to see firsthand and first time walking into Contenders is 2K Gaming. And one of the best parts about this altogether is that they have to show us what they got. Now, Lemon, we don't have all the footage in the world to learn what they got, but what do you have to tell us about them?
Well, 2Kill, I think we didn't get actually a chance to see them at all. They won by forfeit.
That's right.
Versus Icarus Gaming. It's already starting off 1-0. It's starting good, but we have no idea about this roster in terms of gameplay. But what the community knows is this was the old Battalion roster, who were a playoff team last season that lost to Brazil Gaming House, and this was the #1 team at the time. And even during the regular season, Battalion finished 2-3, 6-14 in the map count. So a mid-pack team, but this is Battalion we're talking about now. They have all these puzzle pieces coming together, and I'm so excited to see what they're going to pull off this season.
Beautiful painting to be posted up in some museum, I hope, but these jigsaw pieces still need to find where they fit more often than anything. But Black Dragons, though, LaFon, they went to a map 5, and they had a pretty good showing. Whether it was their map to win nor lose is completely up to you at home, of course, but what we can speculate on is that Black Dragons, they do enjoy this dive composition. You think they're going to come out with it again, LaFon?
I mean, considering how things have gone so far, dive has been pretty prevalent, and if they don't run it, it'll be for a very strange reason or something that 2Kill runs themselves. So they are, of course, coming in sort of the favorites in this matchup. I think in terms of their just appearance, that 5-map series, and regardless of what happens on the map and play, they still come away with that victory. So they are definitely, in terms of what we kind of expect to see here, sort of, I think, a little bit more on the up and up. They have a really good showing. I think dive is definitely going to be something that we kind of see from them here on this map throughout this second match of the day.
Absolutely, and as we're inching our way to the second match of the day, it's going to be Oasis as our first map. And inside our wonderful caster's booth, we have the dynamic duo of Boopnado, Boopasaurus, Ham Tornado. Would you please take it away?
Of course we will, Panda. Man, I've been loving all the compliments we have been receiving today. We have to cast with these guys every day if my ego is going to be as supported as it is with this group of people. Exactly. But less about us and more about Overwatch. We are about to get into Oasis, our control map with 2Kill Gaming and a Black Dragons. And we were on the desk for Black Dragons 5-game set against Pain last week, and it was an amazing game. And Black Dragons are looking to stay on top of Group B here, going up at 2-0. But Ham, the teams have already left the gate. We are here on the first point already, and they're all going to kind of check each other out, make some eye contact, and then they're going to go ahead and engage. We're going to look at these tanks and try to do that, and that's exactly what we're going to see. With the Reinhardt seeing each other, strong and assertive, but right now it looks like there's just trades going on. This is now a 5v5 on the point. Really Page trying to get the Reinhardt buttered down right now. Delavine is, taking that Discord and using it to his advantage, as Black Dragons are going to most likely come out on top.
Oh man, they lost Sleepers so early on that it looked like it might have been a lost fight for Black Dragons, but the DPS coming in strong. Delavine once again repping that Hanzo. We remember how strong he was on this hero in their last matchup going up against Pain Gaming, and so this is definitely a smart choice, and he will have that Dragon Strike, before Wetter even reaches 40% up to that Graviton Surge. So this is definitely an ultimate that could be used to throw the game tempo into Black Dragon's favor, and that's actually going to be crucial to push back the tanks as he lets it rip.
Ooh, and the Dragon Strike's going to come out automatically. Sleeper's just going to get the charge kill, and everyone else is going to follow. So Black Dragon's another pretty clean fight.
Yeah, sometimes though, Boop, you just got to take those wipes, especially on University. Once the defending team has control of the point, all they need to do is cycle through those ultimates, catch 2-kill gaming before they can get through that choke point. However, if you take a look on the blue side, Xiaozu is going to be very close to that Earthstrider, competing with Sleepers. So whichever Reinhardt could get off this big CC ultimate is really going to throw the favor into their team's way. Olay does have that Transcendence to save his team in that case, however, so Black Dragon's still maintaining an advantage here.
Well, in terms of ultimate economy, Black Dragons is definitely in the lead. Pizza Lover is going to pop that Valkyrie, but it's not going to help Pearly K. Is he going to be able to get the res? He's going for it, and yes, he is. Dragon Strike not going to stop it, and Black Dragons, in the end, get on the top of the fight once more, man.
I am just dying right here, Boop. This is actually the second time that Pizza Lover has resurrected a teammate through a Dragon Strike. This Mercy knows absolutely no fear, and I am loving it right now. Black Dragons, they're going to enjoy this too. 5 ultimates up for the side of the red team. 2-kill gaming, though, coming in on their own. They still have both the Graviton Surge and the Earth Shatter in reserve, which can both of these can be comboed beautifully with Darkin's Pharah Barrage, but the same can be said for Black Dragons.
That's
Darkin's
huge.
down.
Olay with that pick opens up the whole point. Winner gets the Graviton kill. That move does damage, guys, and that's going to open up this point. That's actually going to close the point for 2-kill gaming because there's going to be no time left, as Black Dragons is going to take the first round 100-0.
Yep, and that is not a scoreline that we see that often, Boop. And 2-kill already in the first round of our first map, finding themselves on the defense immediately. And that's not a great place to try and rebound back from, but we still, have plenty of time to see what 2-kill gaming can bring. Black Dragons, excellent ultimate usage, just all in all really understanding the win conditions every single time the engagement happened. They needed to catch 2-kill before they actually got onto the objective proper. They did just that. But as we move on into our next round now, City Center, this is the playground of Pharahs galore. But this is where we start to see a little bit of a divergence from both of these teams in terms of hero picks. It will be dueling pharmacies most likely, but Spider Agony, swaps off the Hanzo onto the Tracer now to try and counter Delavi, and you do really sometimes just want your own flanker to make sure that the enemy Tracer isn't going to be draining free in your backline, eating up all of your Mercy's HP.
And the first capture for this point specifically is very important because it's a lot harder to take back once you have a lost to Sleepers trying to get into that backline, and he does, getting the kill onto Zenyatta. That's going to open up the point for Black Dragons even more. But no, it has eaten up right now as 2-kill gaming is giving themselves a chance. Winner is D-Mech, but that doesn't mean he can't do the damage. If he does get Mercy in the end and his mech back, that actually might spell the point for Black Dragons.
Oh man, this is just so incredibly spicy. Baby Divas picking up kills left and right. Spider Agony now dancing for his life here against Olay, who will be able to help his Winston finalize that kill on the Tracer. And this is a huge boon for Black Dragons once again. 2-kill gaming need to get a complete wipe on this point, as you mentioned, Boop, in order to flip it to their favor and actually start ticking up point percentage. So Black Dragons' strategy now is even trading is going to be good for them as long as they maintain presence on this point. And with Olay and Delavian dancing around, that's going to be pretty easy.
Yeah, and they're going to go ahead and try to be aggressive on this point right now. Darkin's got to hit those shots. He's got to, get that HP down, but Spider Agony's going to do that instead with a great pulse bomb on a Pizza Lover, and this is their opportunity. This is their chance, but we did mention that this point is really hard to flip as Spider Agony does get moved off of the point right now through that Lucio zoning, and they still have not flipped it. They have gotten the kills, but they have not gotten the point thus far. But now things are changing as 2-kill gaming get on the board.
Olay trying to dance around, but they lop that poor Lucio's knees off. It doesn't matter how fast your skates are. So Black Dragons now, they will find themselves in the position of trying to retake this point. 2-kill gaming have plenty to hold both supportive ultimates, but Spider Agony down right away is going to be very difficult. Now Delavian going to have a lot easier time getting into the backline, though the resurrection does bring this back into a 6v6. Both Pharahs going to make a huge impact in this next fight. They're going to both have barrages. It's all a question about timing.
But one team is going to have a resurrection that's only going to be available for 30 seconds, but no! Some great Guardian Angel action from Mercy, avoiding the kill on that rocket barrage. That could have been the end for 2-kill gaming, but it's going to be the end in other ways as the rest of the team is going to back them up and get the kills. The Black Dragon setting themselves up for another capture, another aggressive res on the Pearly K is really going to lock this up for Black Dragons.
Pizza Lover, Aggression Lover, that's going to be his new name after this. Primal Rage from Xiaozu, only going to be getting a couple more seconds for his team. as Black Dragons a commanding retake here. 2Kill Gaming only a couple of percentage points away. And the good news for Dragons is as well, they still have ultimates in the bank to continue to try and hold this. Pizza Lover's Valkyrie is going to be huge. Oh, Pearly K with a knockback kill. That's always just a feel good. It's even better than landing 2 directs in a row, honestly. Darkin, though, will have this Pharah barrage. Going to be difficult to try and get into a position to use it, though, as Black Dragon's going to be knowledgeable about where 2K Gaming are going to be engaging. There's only a couple of small chokeways, a couple of small archways to force your way through, and Delavian already on this flank looking for that early opening pick onto a tank potentially.
And we're heading close to 80%, and that means this is going to be a one-fight match. Delavian missing on the pulse bomb, and now it's in a sketchy situation with the Zenyatta. He's going to go ahead and rejoin his team on it to the point. No, he's going to go for the clip, and he does. He takes down Rank. That is no support for you for 2Kill Gaming. Mercy's going to have to do it all by herself with no Valkyrie. Darkin, though, going to take the tanks down, but the way this map works, it might not be enough for 2Kill Gaming. They've got to get Pearly K out of the air as the res for both Mercies are out, so this is just classic Overwatch, as no one other than Pearly K is going to have their ultimates. Oh, Pulse Bomb could be huge, but with the kill on Repsol and Spider Agony, this is Black Dragon's fight to lose right now. Rain staying still with that Transcendence, just keeping the point alive. So they just got to clean this up, and they have the first round and go up 1-0 on a 2K Gaming. Rank has something else to say about that, as all the ultimates do come out. Sound Barrier only catching 3, though. Could have been a little bit better. Black Dragon still maintaining their presence and their aggressiveness on this point. They're definitely still in the lead here. They just gotta get that time to kill a little bit faster, and they finally do. Spider Agony is one of the last ones on the point. Winston's gonna join as well, and you're seeing right now how hard it is to flip this point and even maintain it here for the very end, and we're finally there. Black Dragons goes up 1-0 on 2K Gaming, 2Kill Gaming on Oasis.
That was a pretty dominant performance, even with the last couple of stragglers still keeping it alive for 2Kill Gaming. Black Dragons really pulling ahead early on in this series. And I mean, play of the game is going to go to Olay. Some stellar orbs over there, not just not just for the healing, but for the damage as well. Jonak has really, rewritten the playbook for Zenyatta's across the world, but helping his team, enabling his DPS to go in deep. You really want to see that Zenyatta in play when you are running those diving tanks versus, say, potentially a Lucio, who he actually did also pull out on City Center, played both of them very well.
Almost got that Tracer kill. I love Zenyatta as a character because it's all about harmony, right? It's that damage versus that healing. And on your stat line, you're kind of looking for both to be even. So if you're doing 9,000 damage, you want to match that with 9,000 healing. And that's exactly what we saw Olay do, coming out with some really good stats. But moving on to our next map, which is going to be hybrid, Black Dragons had a monster King's Row. So if it's King's Row, Black Dragons are going to have a really great opportunity to pick up the second map.
Yeah, certainly. And hopefully going to be seeing some more great DPS play there. Delavian, we know that when this guy's on Hanzo, he has no fear. And it was clear on the other heroes that he was picking up as well. His entire team actually, just going all in with the aggression. And it seemed like 2Kill were just a little bit caught off guard. However, this first map is down. Moving into the next side, it's a lot less brawly. Control really favors kind of that, going for it, that 1v1 kind of map. But as we move into a more linear map, there's going to be a lot more objective play. How are we prioritizing playing around the cart, and are we going to instead just go for that all-in team kill? Pizza Lover, I think that could be a place where we see 2Kill start to hone in their focus fire. We know that this Mercy also plays, I play an aggressive Mercy.
Mercy.
And so many times, going for those risky resurrections, that has been in his favor so far, but could be a place where 2Kill start to punish Black Dragons.
Well, it's the good old saying, high risk, high reward. You just have to make sure that the reward is good enough for the risk. And sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. But these Mercies have had to really pocket their DPS, specifically Hanzo's lately, which puts a lot of onus on the other supports to, kind of come back with some more healing or coming back with that damage like the Zenyatta's do. But we're going to see Eichenwald, which has been missing from the map pool for a lot of Owl up until the playoffs. So I'm really excited to see Eichenwald because it does have the highest high ground in Overwatch. So what kinds of things are we going to see here, Ham?
Yes, the highest of the highs. Eichenwald, also very excited to see some more Pharah play, actually, because we did see Darkin kind of take a different approach than what we sometimes do see from Pharah's And this is a map where you can really use that defensive fire quite well. The first point of Eichenwald, you have that kind of little clock tower that you can roam around, getting a lot of free damage as the team is entering the choke. I think where we pay attention is definitely how both sides deal with that choke point, how far they're playing back, and whether or not they're going to be running any of those spam heavy heroes such as Pharah, Hanzo. Not really expecting any Junkrat. Junkrat's kind of fallen out of the meta recently as Hanzo's replaced him as one of the best spam heroes. The long distance damage, it goes farther, it's easier to aim, and
the ult's more reliable.
Yeah, and the ultimate is actually more reliable.
Exactly. So Eichenwald is going to give us some new flavors in terms of team comp. And my favorite thing about Eichenwald is the bridge. And sometimes offensive Pharahs can use that kind of distraction as everyone's poking each other at the bridge to get behind the point and start bringing people back. So there are a lot of opportunities here, some really fun flanks. Tracer can be very good on the Eichenwald. And there are a lot of Tracer players there's a couple Tracer players on these teams that would love to play that character. But a character we have not seen that some people do play on Oasis is Brigitte so far. That's someone we might see on attack on Eichenwald.
Yeah, I am actually excited to see which of these teams will be the first to pull out that Brigitte comp, Reinhardt, Zarya, Brigitte, most likely the 3-3. And the South American teams actually so far have kind of really strongly favored that dive, either the classic dive with Tracer Genji or the dual sniper dive. And there's definitely a lot of advantages of the 3-3 composition. One of them definitely is just the ability to get through the choke point extremely quickly. With the dual sniper, you're looking for a pick. You need your DPS to make an opening for the rest of the team members to make their way through without taking too much damage. But if you're running a very HP shield heavy comp, you can just speed your bodies through.
So we are going to see that defensive Pharah that you did speak of. Let's see how good that's going to be here on the attack for 2Kill Gaming, who is now on the red side. Someone who does need to pop off is Spider Agony, who had a little bit of time to do so in Oasis, but couldn't get the rest of the team to do it with them. And Darkin's going to really have to get some picks on this Widowmaker. So whoever gets the first pick here, especially if you're on offense, you want that Widow to get that headshot so you can gain some ground past this bridge, and the Winston is going to hop in and get that ult charge onto the rest of the team, do some chest bump, do some tickling, and he's going to back away, but Delavian's going to use that chaos to get the kill on it to rank and get the res out. Mercy's resing Zenyatta. That's a home sweet home for them, as this fight is still going on the point. With that D-Mac, it's going to make 2Kill Gaming a lot weaker here, especially on the offensive side, but now the res is for both teams are over. Delavian sneaks up behind and gets those stormbolts into both snipers for 2Kill Gaming.
Yeah, Delavian has actually just been roaming free this entire time on the left side of the tower, uncontested by anybody from 2Kill Gaming, who you saw. We're trying to make their very quick way on the point via that mega room, but unfortunately the tanks were taking extreme amounts of damage before they could pop their heads out. They were forced to wait in that tiny room, and that is exactly where you want to be feasting as a Hanzo on the flank. We saw him getting so many arrows in, and that was kind of the linchpin of that one defense. Olay!
That's huge. Olay stopping the push immediately from a spawn. Olay getting the kill on Repsol. That's just going to be an extra 20 seconds for him.
And any kind of seconds are good here because the street space can be notoriously difficult for the defense to hold. So Black Dragons want to wear down as many seconds as possible. Also, to give Delavian the chance to set up this Dragon Strike, he will be at the ready. His entire team actually will have the full 6-pack of ultimates as he lets it fly through the choke.
And that's going to separate the team and cause them to just delay their attack a little bit more with the Valkyrie popping from Repsol, though. And Pizza Lover, this is going to be a fight. Valkyrie, he's actually going to get the best of Delavian, but the Rocket Barrage is going to even it up. And with the res on Delavian, it's still going to be in the favor of the Black Dragons. They have the numbers and they have the kills. They just need to clean them up at this point. His Primal Rage popped a little late. Maybe wanted to save that for the next fight with 1 minute and 55 seconds left. But he's going to go ahead and pop it, try to stall on the point just a little bit longer, but will inevitably go down. Let's see if he's going to be able to take anyone down with him, and the answer is no.
Unfortunate. You saw that Xiaozu trying to pop that Primal Rage, keep the fight going, at least try and even things up, because for the attackers with those respawns so close, it's always an advantage, even if you're simply trading on the point. But Pearly K absolutely saved that for his team, escorting 2Kill Gaming to the Pearly Gates with a beautiful barrage. Even with new Hanzo, it's not good. The Storm Arrow not going to be enough to save you from a fire barraging directly on top of your head. 2Kill Gaming now also empty in terms of ultimate, so it's going to be some regular vanilla Overwatch to try and come through. I want to see a little bit more backline pressure here. 2Kill so far has had such a hard time even just getting through the tank line.
Well, and they've made it past the bridge, and they're going to try to get on at the point. I love what Wetter's doing here, combating the Pharah in the air as she's the best equipped to do so, and it's going to have that ultimate here in just a second, and that's going to push Pharah off of the point, but actually the kills are going to push them off the point instead, as they're going to have to reset and have one more shot at this.
Spider Agony taking the long dive off a short bridge over there just to reset as quickly as possible, as 2Kill Gaming are down to their last 40 seconds and change. This is not really where you want to be for your last single push. No ultimates online. Repsol is going to be the closest, and they will need that Valkyrie, as Pizza Lover will have that chain healing, chain damage boost online as well. 2Kill, they need to play this semi-cautiously and aggressively. Seems counterintuitive, but they need to start drawing some of these ultimates out from Black Dragons, because if they play this straight, there's no way they can make it through all of these ultimates. There's just not enough sustain.
Well, and the aggressiveness starts. The engage was actually on the side of the Black Dragons. They're diving into the backline, and with that Tribal Rage knocking people against the wall, Pearly K is going to get darkened, and that's going to be a huge kill. That's a ton of damage that 2Kill will be missing for this fight. The rest does go down, but it might be a little too late, as the point is now closed. As everyone, I believe, was still alive but couldn't get a foot on that point hand.
Ooh, toes just not quite long enough, a little too stumpy to keep overtime going. But Xiaozu has been, playing very interestingly in terms of initiations as the main tank for 2Kill Gaming. We saw in that last fight in particular, he was on the point where while the rest of the team were still trying to deal with Pearly K's barrage, were caught up in that choke. So he went down first before the rest of the team could get onto the objective. They were already down a man, and that kind of seemed to be the tail of that entire attack.
And the order in which your characters die is almost defining in terms of how you're going to win the fight. You see a Mercy or Zenyatta, you're at an automatic disadvantage, and the tanks can arguably be high up there as well, because that's who's protecting your supports if they're peeling correctly. But now as the timer clicks down and these two teams have swapped sides, 2Kill now on the defense. Black Dragon showing the exact same comp they ran last time with Pearly K and Pizza Lover on that farmer seat.
Yeah, this actually isn't a bad offense at all from Black Dragons, if they do choose to stick with this. Pearly K has been kind of getting the better of the 1v1 in terms of Pharahs. However, check out Spider Agony. I am so incredibly ready for this group. Are you? One of our favorite heroes to see ever. Doomfist coming out, and this is definitely a great point A to run this hero. There's a lot of walls. That big clock tower in the middle definitely going to provide a hard surface with which to bash your enemies with your giant fist. And, this can be a great way to stop up those chokes. Apply that backline pressure, as we saw was missing previously. Leap in, get that Harmony Orb on yourself, go to town.
So the reason why I love Doomfist is because every part of this kit is entertaining to watch. It's satisfying and makes you
even
feel...
the sounds, right?
Even the sounds. It's satisfying and makes you feel special things on the inside. But let's see if he's going to be able to make Black Dragons feel despair with that fist to the face and against those walls. It's going to be huge. You don't run Doomfist unless you're going to rep it, right? And so if he doesn't get a couple quick kills here at the beginning, I do expect a character shift. But right now we're kind of just seeing regular old Eichenwald as people are going to see each other at the bridge and start building ult charge, and the Winstons are going to decide when to make this engagement. Could be Doomfist in the end with a quick pick if he's going on a really nice flank. And as of right now, both players are not really hitting a lot other than each other. Darkin does get 2 middies, and this is going to be a great defense for 2Kill thus far. Ooh, Spider Agony getting that uppercut, and now we do have a reset for Black Dragons.
Oh, that was exactly what we wanted to see from the Doomfist. 2-punch kills. Just a beautiful performance from Spider Agony so far. That's exactly what they needed, because Boop, you mentioned if this Doomfist doesn't work out, he's going to want to switch, but with only 1 tick to give up, 2Kill Gaming have very small windows of time to be working with. Even with the resurrection available from Repsol 2Kill, gonna have to be treading that line between over-aggression and not letting Black Dragons get on top of them from this defense. Pearly K gonna give this another shot. Darkins, he eats another rocket right away.
Oh man, who's gonna win at this Pharah v Pharah duel? It's been all Darkin thus far, and he's gonna take that low. Pearly K's been zoned off of this point. Ooh, but Spider Agony served like a dish to him. Ate that meal pretty fast as he goes down, and as of right now, nothing really happening on the point. But Pearly K is going to try to clutter the rest of the team up so the team can follow up and get those kills. Darkin's going to use Rocket Barrage on sleepers only. Pearly K going to take advantage of that still character in the melee kill. Don't see that every day. Dropping down fist to face. He's going to say hello to your death. But right now, Black Dragon's looking pretty good, man.
Oh, Black Dragons indeed. Repsol winning for the Resurrection, and Pearly K punished him. Even though he wasn't winning that Pharah 1v1, he knew exactly where his priority was and was taking out this healing because Black Dragons now they're just halfway there. They're going to take this point. There's a D.Va there trying desperately to stall Prevail. How long can he do it? No! Flew too high to the sun and got burned on the way down.
A fall from grace,
yes,
one might say. But that is going to be Black Dragons going up quickly 2-0 as we see Sleepers off of that play of the game. 2-kill game and just can't deal with the aggressiveness, it seems like.
Yeah, 2-kill. They looked really strong on the first couple of defenses, especially Spider Agony's Doomfist. He was playing exactly how we, would want to see that Doomfist. A little bit of a freelancer, but, able to execute just mechanically. So he's a threat that the attackers can't ignore. However, when that started to fall apart was when Pearly K began to play a little bit more defensively. Yeah, okay, he's not going to go up in the air, duel out the enemy Pharah 1v1. He'd been losing that consistently, but hey, it's okay. Pharah is also very good at getting, the 120 damage per rocket splash down onto the ground, not just to wear down the tanks, but also getting Repsol's Mercy out of the game. That was the turning point. It turned a sour moment into a sweet one.
Ah, there it is, guys.
Exactly, tie in, call me Blizzard.
My partner has no pride in herself,
no,
apparently. One thing is for sure, adjustments mark the adjustments. When players make adjustments, it says that they're a good player, right? And that's exactly what Pearly K did. But one thing we're going to do is we're going to adjust who's on screen because we got a desk for you guys. Panda, what did you think?
Well, it's not only just what I think, it's what everybody thinks, really. And I'm here to gain some accentuated knowledge on this 2-0 so far with Black Dragons going up in 2-kill gaming. Welcome back to the Analyst Test in the halftime. I got LaFon and Lemon with me here today. And wow, if you blinked twice, you might have missed those two maps there. I mean, if you went to an extended bathroom break, you might have missed it as well. But Oasis was still really fun for me personally. It was a couple mirror compositions coming out, both for City Center and University. We saw Pharahs and Tracers across the board all together. It was really defining in certain moments. LaFon, in these mirror compositions, how exactly does one team gain headway?
I mean, let's start off on City Center, right? You're running that Pharah Tracer, and one thing that Pharah Tracer excels at is that you send the Pharah in the air. She has so many abilities that she can really do well with. She can scout. I mean, you've got an aerial view, right? You have so much ability to see what the team's doing, your opponent, your team, and you're able to give your Mercy ability to also do the same thing. So you've got a lot of information coming out. Another thing it does is Pharah has, when she hits those direct rockets, 120 damage. Squishies are super susceptible. So if you hit a direct rocket and then send your Tracer in on the backline to get the cleanup, you've got basically an instantly confirmed kill if your communication's on point, if your timings are good, if your Tracer has their cooldowns available. I think on the side of Black Dragons, especially towards City Center, you start to see that micro play come into perspective where your Pharah, your Tracer are in synchronization. They're able to really come in and do that. And of course, the Mercy, we kind of say that 120 damage, but you're damage amping those rockets, so it's even more. So it's what, 150, 160? Yeah, 160, I believe.
160,
so,
yep.
So you do a lot of damage, and then your Tracer comes in for the cleanup. I think on 2-kill gaming side, it's kind of the opposite, where we see Black Dragons executing on the micro play, on the individual efforts on that compositional level. We see 2-kill gaming kind of struggle a little bit more on City Center. And then, of course, we talk about University. It's a case of you have ultimates, you capture the first point really handily, you build ultimate percentage, and then you snowball through the remainder of the fight. And unfortunately for 2-kill gaming, they were unable to really get that team wipe at any point in time. And it was 100-0 in a case where it's just a long form fight that never goes back in 2-kill's favor. So Black Dragon's just snowballing it all the way through. And I think that kind of showed up through the entirety of Oasis.
And also to touch upon, not only did we see issues in game, but you got to take the out of game, the context of the series in question. Both these teams have two new DPS duos coming in. It was Delavine who replaced Valen as their main DPS player, and you also have Spider Agony and Darkin that come from two different teams of Dogma and Battalion. So when we took a look at the synergy between the Pharah and the Tracer, it was so clear that Black Dragons were better at execution, but that also puts in the question of how much time do Spider Agony and Darkin have spent together, because overall 2-kill lacked the foundations, and I think that translated also into their ultimate usage on Eichenwald.
Yeah, that's actually a fantastic point there, Lemon. And actually segues me into my next point and a question for you indeed. Moving on to Eichenwald here. 2K they still have the team comps. They seem to have, to your point, they have a certain priority to make, or to at least draw a line in the sand. For me personally, going down in this series so far, losing these 2 maps, how do you go forward, not only mentally, but after the break, resetting yourselves, coming back into these next 2 series? What do you got to do if you're 2Kill?
I think one of the things to note here, right, is 2Kill Gaming, on the offensive round for Eichenwald, they were kind of banging their head against the wall. They were like, okay, this is what people are running in this meta. This is what we kind of see, what we kind of expect. They ran that, and they kind of got, they got full held. There's no other way to put it. They just weren't able to make any progress into that capture point. And then what we saw from them on the defense is they ran the Doomfist. They brought the Pharah Doomfist combination, and they were immediately more successful. Granted, they still lost the map. It was only a third, and they hadn't put themselves in a good position on the attack round. But defensively, I think that they were a little bit better. So what I'm sort of seeing from 2Kill Gaming is that they may not be familiar or comfortable with sort of the expected setups here in terms of what we kind of expect from the teams, right? So yeah, okay, you can't play the Hanzo, or you're not familiar or comfortable with the Hanzo. Play what you're familiar and comfortable with. It's much better, in my opinion, to have a team execute on a bad idea together than on a good idea separately. And not to say that Doomfist is a bad idea, but just that necessarily following the meta may not be what 2Kill is familiar or comfortable with, and that might be their ticket moving forward.
And to continue on your point of, I think there were a lot of problems with 2Kill, and again, continuing my point on foundations, their main weakest pillar was ultimates. You saw a lot, and your issue with ultimates is going to be your communication department. That's a main foundation of a new team coming in. And when you got all these pieces coming together from different rosters, they're going to have different communication styles, different ways of playing. And I saw a lot of the time 2Kill using support ultimates when the fight was pretty much lost, or using barrages with a Pharah above you. There's just little mistakes like that 2Kill were doing, that even if you're individually talented, you should come in with those individual foundations to bring to the team. And although Black Dragons, they also have some new pieces coming together, but they're not making simple mistakes like that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love this talk about foundation. I mean, Overwatch as a whole is a whole team-based game. It's a 6v6, your house versus my house. We're going to be bringing it down here together. It's going to be fantastic play going forward. But as we're wrapping in here and getting ready for the second half of this series, I'm more interested to know, Lemon Kiwi, do you think 2Kill Gaming has what it takes to bring back? Do you think we're going to see a Game 5?
It's tough. We made
a couple.
See it?
I want
to see it. I want to see 2Kill go through some kind of evolution in Contenders. And I think another roster thing that we've failed to mention is Repsol replaced Kima in this roster. So it's almost like these last minute changes coming in, and replacing your main Mercy player doesn't sound like a big deal. But if your resources are unbalanced within your DPS and your tanks, that is a huge shift of fights for 2Kill. So I think you might throw this first week, you got a 1-0 from first week, right? So you're feeling pretty good. If they want to lose this series, it's totally cool. They'll be in the middle of the pack. I want to see evolution from them in Contenders for their foundations and their growth, and in terms of how they can execute these fights.
Yeah, stronger installation inside that house. Lofon, same question for you, my friend. You think 2Kill is going to bring it back, or you think Black Dragons is just holding this door too strong?
I think Black Dragons holds the door. It's a little bit of a situation where, from the stuff we've seen from this first part of the first half, right? It's a bit of an awkward situation for them. They're a little bit in. I mean, they're 2-0, and it was a clean 2-0. I think that they don't bring it back, but as Lemon mentioned, right? They are in a good position. They may not necessarily win this particular set, this particular match, but it does not put them in the whole 2-0, right? They are still in a 1-1 situation. So if they can bring it back to that 5 map, excellent, great, well done. But if they don't, they have stuff to build on as well. So they are in control of their destiny here, to the point that I think they are actually fairly well off.
And fairly well off, we may find out indeed in whether 2Kill Gaming can bring it back to a Game 5. It comes down to our assault map. It's going to be Temple of Anubis, and very exciting stuff to come out. Maybe more Pharah Tracer play. We will only sit to find out, as you at home will be blessed again by the beautiful voices of Boopasaurus, Ham Tornado. Take it away, you two.
Man, I seriously love the supportive atmosphere, guys. It's so great. Thanks, Panda, for the great Des, Lemon, and Lafon as well. But now we're getting into Anubis, which is actually, I can't believe I'm saying this, 2CP has been so far my favorite map set of all the South American games we've seen so far.
Oh no, the planets are out of line. No, something terrible's happening. Thanos is coming crashing down with his fist. Yeah, 2CP. Who would have thought Assault has been, one of the most diverse kinds of maps that we've seen so far, the ways that teams have reacted to getting swept 2-0. We've seen a lot of really aggressive takes. So thus far,
it's funny because that's an understatement,
right? Yeah,
right? It's like, is there a better word than really aggressive?
Really
right?
aggressive, astoundingly blazing. I'm not entirely sure. We got more adjectives over here, folks. But previously, if you guys were able to catch the first set of today, it was a 5-minute plus time bank for both teams. So coming on to this matchup, I'm expecting great things from both 2Kill and Black Dragons.
Yep, definitely some extra innings, I think, is in our future, but we will see. Something that I think that Des kind of mentioned was 2Kill, they're not out of it, right? And while Lafon was like, hey, they might not win this match, the thing is they're still not out of it. The planets have aligned in a weird way, so 2Kill can totally come back here with a reverse sweep. So 2Kill is going to start on the attack here, and we are seeing Brigitte get shown, someone we haven't seen yet.
Yeah, Brigitte has unfortunately not livened our days thus far from many of our teams, but we are finally seeing the 3-3 so exciting here prevail on that Diva, Spider Agony on the Zarya, and hopefully I'm going to be loving this off-tank play as much as I do his name. Xiaozu, though, with this Reinhardt, now running this heavy tank composition, the Rein staying up and alive in the fight becomes even more important than your Winston. So going to be looking at him, making sure that he's keeping that good positioning as we see rotation underneath the bridge as 2Kill make their way through, but they lose Repsol right away.
Delavine actually caught everyone up to the high ground almost and ruined it for his team, but in the end, they're actually bringing it back. Early phase out with the kill on Spider Agony and not going to let the Goats Comp get going. Repsol's got to feel good being on that Lucio, but it's not really working out just yet. Pizza Lover taken very, very low, and the rest of a 2Kill game is going to take him low and then have to force a reset.
Yeah, 2Kill gave it their all. They just rushed onto the point. You never know what you might get. We saw earlier a team get utterly caught off guard by a dive. So, it's always good to just go for it. However, that does mean that you've given Delavine enough ult charge to get to that tire. And this is a fight ender if he catches even one member of 2Kill with this ultimate. No mercy on the line. So even a single kill is going to be huge. However, Rank does have that Moira ultimate online, but the tire is going to pop first.
And they don't have a way to kill the tire quickly or really move out of the way as well. As Rank goes down with that Coalescence, they're just going to wait it out and come back with it. But the tire, just like you said, forcing the reset. Yeah?
And 2Kill, they can't lose too much more time because they need to get that damage in and work Xiaozu and Spider Agony up to those big, all-important Graviton and Earth Shatter ultimates. Otherwise, Black Dragons may be holding this for a while longer. Perlique going to pop the sight, but 2Kill still going to engage regardless.
Well, the sight on this is a huge advantage for the defensive side. They know exactly how they're coming in here. Really great ult, holding them all together and exposing some people's feet because of that Reinhardt shield. Someone is trapped over there. Is Delavine going to get the kill? The Perlique is going to get the first one. The Transcendence is going to come out and to save the Black Dragons, who has not lost a person just yet on at this point, I believe. And the damage keeps on coming as 2Kill Gaming keeps finding the ground and taking dirt naps.
Oh yeah, absolutely digging graves all over the place. Here is Black Dragons. Olay did pop the trance in that last fight, but look at this. Pizza Lover's going to have that Valkyrie, and Delavine will have yet another tire. This is good move though from 2Kill. We talked about the flexibility of composition. They're going to swap to that Genji Widowmaker dive. About a minute and a half left. You could probably work your way up to a blade, and they are going to need it in order to try and capture this force point. You don't want another full hold situation, but he's going to be the first one down. No, the agony.
That's exactly how you don't get a blade in a minute and a half. Because you don't charge it that fast when you are in spawn. But they're going to keep going with this. I do like the adjustment on the dive, try to get into the back line of Black Dragons. But the way that Sleepers is playing on this Orisa, just absolute solid concrete on this point thus far, unable to move them from this high ground. the Shetland, as you called it.
Yes, a little horse.
Not the high horse, the Shetland horse, which is a small horse, if you guys don't know that.
Very
small,
cute.
miniature horse. But that's not important. The game is, as 2Kill Gaming is going in and getting their last offensive push, is this Tire going to pick anybody off? With the amount of time, they might have some time to come back in, but they do get the supports, and with 2 kills, this could be the end for 2Kill Gaming. For Vel without self-destruct kill, that's just kind of the consolatory kill, just to say that you got it. And 2Kill Gaming is going to have a hard time coming back onto this point, but I do believe they have the time.
Yep, they're definitely going to have time. Oh, unless Spider Agony goes down.
No.
No, Darken, though, has swapped off onto the Tracer. There may be a chance for him to get a toe onto this point in order to start overtime. Black Dragons, though, they still have both tank ultimates up. Sleepers with that supercharger, and Wetter with the self-destruct. He can zone away so many of the members with just that single Diva ultimate.
Oh, they are going to get a foot on at the point as Darken was left unimposed, but because everyone had a funnel in, Pearly K had an open season on that Widowmaker. The Darken, the one who got on the point, is going to get the first point as well, but Self-Destruct's going to get Repsol, and that's going to be a huge kill on the side of Black Dragons. But this is way more back and forth than one would expect, but in the end, Black Dragons is doing their work, as this is now a 2v2 onto the point, but with that res, it's now a 3v2, and the spawns are going to come back for 2Kill Gaming. This is actually a really great opportunity for them to overtake this point. They just need the kills, and that's exactly what they're getting so far. So what turned into what started as a really bad fight is a really good one so far for Black Dragons, but their spawns are coming in, as we are not going to see a 6v6 for a while now. Time to kill once again, not that fast. First tick taken. Will the second one be taken? No, not just yet, as Delavine's coming in on that Genji and has no Dragon Blade, but Spider Enemies does, and I love how he kept it for the next point, but they totally steamroll with these ults into the point B.
100% Boop. Spider Agony has that blade, and Olay used the Transcendence, their last-ditch attempt to try and get Black Dragons to full hold this, which was a crucial misplay in my opinion. You saw that 2Kill Gaming, they had a 2v2, but then instead of punishing Pizza Lover's Resurrection onto the second support, they just worked that point instead, and they shouldn't have won that fight. However, Black Dragons just not quite able to wipe them fast enough, and they may well have gifted 2Kill Gaming a second point here. Spider Agony needs to get a money blade. Xiaozu diving deep in the back, popping that Primal Rage, making space.
Oh, getting exactly the targets that he needs, but needs to reconfigure his strategy, because he needs to get back on the point, protect the rest of his team for heal, and do less damage, which allows Olay to get the kill on a 2 rank in the end. This is now 2v2, or 2v1.5 on the fight. Wetter is going to go down. This is another back and forth fight, but back and forth fights do go into the side of the defense, and that's exactly what we're seeing here as the rest of the kills fall for Black Dragons.
Ooh, Spider Agony not quite doing enough with that blade, and he's given Delavine the opportunity to show his stuff on Genji, as now the blue side will have a pile of ultimates online. Also worth noting that both Pearly K and Darken have swapped off onto the Brigida. Definitely a really good pick, both on the offense and the defense, as you want to be brawling. Melee range characters are great on this point B, and Pearly K and Darken as well, both going to have those ultimates up. However, 2Kill Gaming, we can see wholesale swaps going entirely onto the 3-3 once again to see what they can get done here. They need to draw some of these ultimates out from Black Dragons. If they've done it, they will have done their job.
Relly is going to go down, give everyone that armor, except for Moira right now, so she's going to be just on regular old HP. Delavine with that Dragon Blade, though, is going to grab Repsol, so they're going to be down to support for the fight onto the point, and that might be all they need. Let's see how the rest of the kills go. Earthshatter goes down and takes down 3. 3 people sounded a little tired, but the fairy tale of that Earthshatter is going to come down, and Prevail is going to try to prevail this fight over for 2Kill Gaming, but with that res, is going to give Black Dragons an opportunity here to come right back. Self-destruct gets nothing, and right now there's not a lot of progress from the point thus far. With 1 minute and 53 seconds left, this is going to be one of their final 2 fights. Rally again from the last fight going to go down, so Darken pushing out that damage, getting those heals and getting that armor. Xiaozu going to be the solo person on that kill feed, getting 3 kills, and what looked like a point A hold for Black Dragons has turned into 2 points for 2Kill Gaming.
Yep, that ugly caterpillar has metamorphosized into a beautiful butterfly of 2 points, going the way of 2Kill. And Xiaozu performing excellently on that Reinhardt, leading his team, charging onto that point. And what looked like may have been a poor rally choice from Darken actually turned into a huge boon. Delavine himself, not Delading might be, as our colleague Lemon says it, looking a little bit better on the Widowmaker than he has been on the Genji so far. 2Kill, the one of the perks of running the 3-3 is that the longer you sustain, the stronger the comp gets, right? I only get stronger with, you know, the anger and energy of my enemies. And that was definitely the tale of that point B take for 2Kill Gaming. Black Dragons, they're trickling on. We actually even saw Pearly K go on the Pharah to try and, you know, get a different angle on where the Brigida wouldn't be able likely to contest her, but it was a little bit too little too late. 2Kill had already gotten the ball rolling with all of their tanks, and it just wasn't. Black Dragons, the knife they brought to the fight, should have brought a gun instead.
Very well put, Ham. Time is Goat's comp's best friend, right? Like you said, they get stronger as time goes on, and what Black Dragons needs to do is, again, time to kill was a problem, which is kind of the point of that 2Kill Gaming comp, but that doesn't matter really in the end, because Black Dragons needs to find a way to adjust, just like they have been in the past, to fight this comp. So Ham, you know, we saw the May push them. We're on high horse now because of that, May. Sorry for you guys that got excited. That's just what happens on Anubis for Orisa. They get the high ground. I know. Always fingers crossed, maybe. But as you're looking at these comps, you got 14 seconds before the game starts. What do you think?
I really like this Spider Agony on this Junkrat, able to lay in that damage, especially against the flankers that Black Dragon are showing right now, can definitely make Delavian's life extremely difficult. And if nothing else, just keep the core of his team undiveable with a volley of concussion mines, as well as the trap set up here on the high ground. As we see, Repsol though will be one of the weak points. Pearl K, if you can get a flanking angle on here, all of the squishies in the back lane just going to be delicious chicken tenders for him to feast on. However, Darkin himself going to be trying to find those headshots onto the Black Dragons team as they engage here. Running with dive, this is going to be a little bit risky. You're always very vulnerable to mispositionings, which will leave you open to snipers. So that's going to be something that Black Dragons need to keep in mind as they engage here. Pearly K on the low ground right now, just making sure he's not exposing himself on the high ground, as Delavian has actually made a full rotation all the way in the back, setting himself up for the pincer dive with the rest of his team.
And I love the pincer dive because it draws attention off of the point, which allows Black Dragons to make some distance. Lucio has made himself known on the point thus far, and he's a lover. Rock and Lucio, they do love it here in South America, and the 2 kills are going to come out. What's going to be the most important one is Black Dragons is showing their stuff on this point thus far, and Zhao said you got to drop at some point. And as he hits the ground, he hits his death, Ham, as Black Dragons are going to take this point.
Xiaozu hit the ground so hard, he fell into his grave. All the way 6 feet under. Yeah, and that's a pretty painful first point take for 2Kill Gaming to give up there. However, the good news is they gave it up so quickly. There's only really going to be one ultimate potentially coming online, which will be Delavian's Blade for this next attack. Spider Agony needs to start getting a little bit more damage in. Junkrat Pyre is an excellent counter to a Genji trying to engage on your team, but he is only 50% up to that ultimate so far.
And if we compare that to Pearly K's performance in the last round, he had 2 tires and 2 fights. Yeah. So that just is a good comparison in terms of Spider Dragon needs to pump out that damage. It's not spam damage if you're not hitting that damage. Pearly K, though, gonna assert his dominance, go in there, see if he's gonna get a good shield stun on Reinhardt, and he does. And Delafine's Blade has been unleashed as well. Will the kills follow? So far, not really, as they only get 2 from all of those, from that Dragon Blade, one of the only opens available for this fight. Olay is gonna try to keep this fight going, even though some might say that it was a losing fight to begin with. The trap on a Wetter is going to give Spider Agony that Rip Tire and that ult charge, and he's going to go ahead and launch it, even though the fight has been already won so far, but in the end, going to get 2 kills with that Rip Tire.
Yep. Spider Agony may be deciding to switch potentially here, as the fight was largely won, as you said. Boop. Wetter just making full usage of that diva
dried
passage.
Up. Yeah. Wetter got dried up there.
Ooh, it is Anubis. It's a desert climate, so you can't be expecting too much, but that's actually not too terrible. He's going to be able to get that mech back reset with his whole team. It's not too much of a loss, actually, as we take a look at the ultimate economy for 2Kill Gaming. They do well have that Reinhardt ultimate online. The Earth Tower definitely going to be very strong. However, you're going to have to need an eagle eye and even faster reactions to try and catch Delavian, who will have yet another blade at the ready.
And they have the armor as well on both sides, so everyone coming in on even footing. Earthshatter is going to knock a couple down, and it's going to be so hard. The pause is going to happen.
Whew.
Hit the ground so hard, hammer so heavy.
Exactly.
Right? And all we hear is clicking in our ears right now as someone's move. It's just a ticking time bomb in our ears right now. So hopefully this pause is going to be short. But Earthshatter, is the last thing we saw. What's going to happen after this?
I mean, Xiaozu did have a great hammer down. He actually caught a couple of the members of Black Dragon, but it was an amazing boot from Pizza Lover to knock him away, to keep him from getting that pin kill. And now the momentum swinging to the way of Black Dragons. It is a 6v5, a 5v5 now.
And a sound barrier is available, and it does go down and gets all 5 people on the point. Sleepers has just respawned. It's going to be a long walk back, but he might not even need to be there, as Television's going to get Repsol with that drag blade and keep rank in spawn. This could be it. They are so close. They just need the last couple kills. Some red bodies do need to go down. Fire in the hole. Too late. You're going to go down, Spider. That was an interesting spot for that tire. The spawns are back. Oh, Earthshatter gets 4. That is a fatty shatty, as Cam likes to say. And that is going to be it. 4 minutes and 20 seconds left for Black Dragons on the clock.
4 minutes, 20 seconds, and we check out this incredible Earth Shatter. Unfortunately, all it did was give the enemy team a time to, close their eyes, rest up.
Let the bodies hit the floor.
Let the bodies hit the floor. Indeed. And, I mean, I'm hoping that Xiaozu is jamming out to it because of a beautiful performance once again from this Reinhardt. However, just wasn't quite enough to weather the storm from Black Dragons. The follow-up wasn't quite there. So now 2Kill Gaming will have their own chance at extra innings. They will be attacking first, as they did have a slightly less time bank, about 2.5 minutes.
It's a little bit more than slightly.
Yeah. Well, hey,
be realistic.
2.5 minutes is not the end of the world. We know how difficult this point A can be to take, as we do see 2Kill potentially switching up their composition. They're going to be rolling out with the 3-3 instead. But Black Dragons, going with their tried and true. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Delavine going to be revamping his appearance on this Junkrat. Definitely made a huge impact in that last fight.
In terms of DPS, Black Dragons, we've just been seeing them more often. What that means is that their tanks are doing well. We haven't said Wetter's name all that often, but really just raining support all over the team, right? And then Olay just popping off on Zenyatta a bunch of times, and Pizza Lover, that aggressive Mercy, showing that, hey, I can get those GAs and save this team high risk, high reward, right? But Delavine last time got a rip tire in this first fight, so let's see if he's going to be able to do that again as they all come in. I do love that the Zarya is leading the way, trying to get that charge. The speed isn't going to be enough right now to get through the archway. They are finally on the point. What is the Orisa going to do? Are they going to continue fighting on the high ground? No, they're going to meet them in the corridors on this point. As of right now, nothing going, but Delavine is going to get the kill on Repsol, who's actually died first quite a bit of times for 2Kill Gaming, and Delavine showing his stuff. Why we say his name so many times is because he appears on the kill feed so many times. Great DPS player for Black Dragons.
100% really making those nades work over there. And oh no, the passive, it's too strong.
Walk towards the point. How you get killed. Oh, why would you remix it? Okay.
Okay, it was the other diva. All right, yeah, no, Wetter just making mechs rain instead of other things. But a strong defense once again from Black Dragons. And 2Kill, they're not going to be too stubborn, especially with only 30 seconds to give. They're going to swap onto the full dive Darken now on the Tracer and Spider Act, and you're going to see if this time around the blade will be a little bit more effective to the chunky comp that Black Dragons are bringing. But Delavine's tire, you always got to keep an eye out for this Junkrat. He was the one getting all of the kills the last time around. You need to focus.
And we're going to see this tire right now. Is it going to be the big tire that they need? Still looking for those enemies, and he is going to get Spider Agony. So no DPS available for 2Kill Gaming onto the point, and everyone else is going to just pile on the kills. The Black Dragon is keeping them under control and will hold this first point and keep the score at 2-2. Look at that, Wetter, 10-player kill streak.
10-player kill streak. You paused there, just bask in the glory. You've earned it. Certainly excellent play all around from all of the members from Black Dragons. And now the question will be, how do you full hold here without a single tick to give, given that time bank? 4 minutes and 20 seconds.
And this is something that I find really, really awesome about what Black Dragons is doing is, even I doubted their win against Pain just a little bit coming into this game. Is, did they win that game or did Pain lose it? And I think there definitely can be arguments on each side as the desk also to discuss that. But in the end, Black Dragons showing up today, playing honestly very, very clean.
Exactly. The cleanliness and the discipline is certainly something to point out from this team. even when, you know, things weren't quite going their way, they kept their cool. And especially, I think we can see that on that last point defense. Yeah, 2-kill. It was very unlikely that they were going to be able to mount a successful offense, but Black Dragons, they're still playing it extremely seriously. You never know when the enemy team is going to be able to find that opening. It's also a lot of respect being shown, I think. You know, that 2-kill, there's always the potential to pull out that miracle, that clutch play. And so Black Dragons, you know, just making sure that they have all of their ducks in a row. Nobody's going to be, you know, getting a big head over here.
Well, last round, both teams had over 5 minutes for this first point, and both struggled for like the entirety of the timing to capture the first point. One team didn't even get to do that, only got 2.5 ticks. So let's see if Black Dragons are going to be able to get that single tick for the victory here.
All they really need is to get a single team wipe. So Delavian on this Genji is an excellent pick. The win condition is just get a wipe. A single good blade will do it for the attackers here, as 2-kill going to be forced to split their attention here as we see Delavian and actually Sleepers on a mad flank over here. The pincer is going to be real. 2-kill are really going to have to suffer a bit of whiplash here as they take their attention to the point once Black Dragons start to engage. But no, Prevail, what are you doing?
Look at where everyone is on this map right now. Prevail near spawn, Delavian in the back line, Sleepers also in the back line, pushing everyone. That is how you say sowing discord in the other team's favor, and this is exactly why Black Dragons will most likely win this point.
Yeah, and the stakes here couldn't be higher, and in the blink of an eye, guys, Black Dragons going to take this map as well as the series in commanding fashion.
Commanding indeed, and I definitely want the Dust to break down that pincer move there on the last point, because there are literally characters everywhere on Anubis taking buying postcards, taking vacations, doing a little offside
selfie game on.
Yeah, exactly. But in the end, it's Black Dragons going up 3-0 on the series, so they have won the series, but you know, there is one more game to play, and if you are 2-kill, you want to get this, because map differential can be make or break. We see it in Owl, we'll see it in Contenders all over the world. One map can mean relegation or playoffs, so you definitely want to keep this in the game. Don't want to give up just yet. But our last map is going to be Escort, and how these two teams have played. I think the answer is obvious, but Black Dragons probably have the advantage.
Yeah, Black Dragon's going to be guessing that they'll play the double sniper here, most likely, but we're just theory crafting on the caster side of things. So, I mean, I really like the double sniper coming out. We know that Delavian is a monster Widowmaker player, and we've really yet to see 2-kill kind of shine in that way.
Spider Agony has had some moments. Again, we talk about moments of brilliance, and the mark of a great team versus an amazing team is moments becoming lengthier, right? It becomes just the whole game, and that's consistency, that's adjustments, that's
I'm just
knowledge.
Awesome all the time.
Yep,
right?
That's familiarity of teams and maps and characters. Overwatch is such a deep game. There's so much, you know, you have to think about, and you have that hierarchy of information. And when you know that hierarchy the best, that's when you play it best.
Yeah, absolutely. The game sense, I think, could definitely be stronger from 2-kill. So hopefully they're going to pull it together for this last match. Maybe we'll see some crazy comps come out. You know, what's there to lose? Sombra? Yeah, so the tank lineup, the tank synergy with the rest of the team, though, I think we might be seeing a little bit more of that. There's definitely room on an escort map like, you know, potentially Route 66 coming up next, where you can see your tanks, your D.Va start to push forward, or maybe go on off angles to pressure the long distance damage, the Widowmakers, the Hanzos. We saw Prevail try to do that on that last Anubis map, but unfortunately the lack of sync with the rest of his team meant that he got demeched, and then the rest of the team was without that peel, without that damage mitigation as well. But there is more room. It's less objective focused, our escort maps, so you can continue the progress of the payload as long as you're trading favorably.
So the reason why I got so excited there,
I
lifted my hands up, is because I believe we're seeing our very first Rialto of South American Contenders. So we're going to be bringing that map to you. And Rialto is really interesting because, you know, normally the streets phase is easy on these escort maps, and then 0.3 is the hardest. But Rialto has awkward distances for all of their points, and you can
awkward corners.
Yeah, and you can get held on A for a very, very long time from spawn.
Yes. there's so many places the map environment is very unique.
Yes.
Not only extremely sharp corners that both favor the heavy tanks, as well as heroes that can make usage of those small flanking passageways, all of those hallways, as well as the bridge on the first point. You see Pharah's getting boops on Zenyatta's right out of spawn. That's always a tilter. Pharah. So, it's really up in the air as to what compositions these teams will be bringing out. As I think you're right, Boop. This will be the first time we see this map.
And what's interesting about Rialto's spawn too, it's not a spawn where you can just leave, right? You have to leave outside of a corner. And so you can funnel. Pharah's really good on defense here for that exact reason. You can just kind of spam each side or pick one side and still get some kills. The bridge is such a vulnerable position for the offensive side as well. And that's another reason why you would run a Pharah. So team comps can be really versatile here on Rialto, and I am so excited. I think this is a beautiful map, has really cool strategies in play. We can see McCree, we can even see, I know people run Doomfist on point A defense, and so let's see exactly what we are going to run. But number one rule is if you get on a boat, you have to make sure you can get off of it.
Yeah. I'm on a boat. Yeah, you want to make sure that both feet are on the same boat and they're not like moving in separate directions, and then your tank line and your DPS line get split and then you lose. So tying it all back into the game, talking synergy. But we already see this kind of aggressive defensive positioning from Black Dragons. They will want to give 2Kill Gaming a meter for free. Sleepers will be set up on this Orisa, and as expected, the dual snipers coming out from Pearly K and Della Dig.
Della Dig, Lemon. That's such a great addition to Overwatch linguistics, the lexicon, if you will. As Prevail on the attacking side is going to be playing the Pharah instead, and they're going to let this payload move a little bit closer to the archways here around the corner, and that's going to be pretty much it for the offensive side for a while. They're going to be able to get some kills. As Darkham was thinking about a flank but decided against it, it's going to go on it instead, as everyone is now, I think that is the fountain, they have moved around the corner, and the way that Orisa works is you kind of want to plop down and set up, and that's what they're trying to do. Even on the offensive side, though, we do have an Orisa. So, Han, what are these two teams kind of jostling for right now?
Yeah, just looking to catch somebody off guard, as they are going to be running mirrored main tanks, so that shield very static. Prevail going to have a huge advantage here, able to take to the sky and get that bird's eye view, but he may not need to land those double rockets, as Darkin will be picking up Olay. That's going to be no resurrection on the line for Pizza Lover. Trades going evenly right now, but that will always favor the offense here. Spider Agony, also worth noting, he's very close to the Dragon Blade, might just let it fly, as everybody is so incredibly low already on the side of Black Dragons, but looks like they will be holding for the next fight.
It's such a wide open area, so characters like Pharah and Orisa can actually be a little weaker because people can really go around that shield, but in the end, 2Kill's actually showing their best effort so far. Spider Agony popping in that kill feed a lot more than usual as Mercy went through the res, and I think Xiaozu did get up, but no res is available for Black Dragons. Peace Lover is down, but somehow Pearly K is trying to bring this fight back. We're just seeing Rialto things right now here on the Archway.
Yep, Rialto doing Rialto things. Sleeper is still up though, and no main tank alive for 2Kill Gaming, so that's going to be all the advantage Black Dragons need. I love it though. Spider Agony, somebody finally punished Pizza Lover for just standing there and pressing E. Got him, and I'm already feeling much better. However, there will still be ultimates to use on both sides. We have the damage boost from Xiaozu though. This Battle Bongo is going to be extremely powerful, both for the Hanzo as well as the Tracer here, Dark and Ready, with that Pulse Bomb. If he can land it on Sleepers, that's going to be a huge one. Nope, Dragons come out first.
Supercharger is going to survive the Dragon Strike. Pizza Lover's going to have to use the res on to Sleepers, who is moderately close to that Earth Shatter, but Pearly K going down is going to mean Black Dragons are going to be a huge disadvantage here in terms of controlling the environment. 2Kill, again, where was this 2Kill for the rest of this series? Because they are showing up.
Oh yeah, shredding right now. Both Spider Agony and Rank putting in all of that damage. Gets the final blow as well. On fire, and deservedly so here. Darkin's still able to hold onto that Pulse Bomb as well. So this is all good things for 2Kill Gaming as they secure that first point. I'm just really enjoying this aggressive play from 2Kill. Perhaps this is just what they needed, a different map where, teams potentially haven't seen them played before. They can take those unusual angles, apply aggression when they're not necessarily expecting it.
This map is the newest for everybody, right? Everyone has had the same amount of time to work on this, and we were still trying to figure it out. And right now we've gotten to the stage where environmental kills can actually be a problem for the offensive side because of this bridge. Dragon Strike gonna push the team off. Pizza Lover does get the res onto Delavine, but the rest of 2Kill Gaming say, I don't care, is 4 kills popped down for 2Kill.
Yep, Rockets will prevail from the hero of the same name over there. Unleash the Barrage. Only found one, but that was all they needed. Oh, Xiaozu!
That Fire Strike.
Fire Strike to the face. Nice to the face. So, yeah.
Who needs hit scan? So you got a Reinhardt with that kind of fire striking ability. That's going to be some ult percentage for him as well, as Xiaozu at 50%, but Sleepers has his Valkyrie online for Black Dragons as well, but Ole got picked. Let's see if the Dragon Strike's gonna do anything. Reinhardt is stuck in it, but the Healing Orb and the rest of the is gonna keep him alive. Darken, though, is gonna take Ole's life from him. This is now a 5v6 on the point with that res, though. We're back to a full-on 6v6 vanilla Overwatch as Sleepies does go down 5v5 now. So, a lot of numbers, but the number one thing to know is that this is even until Pearly. It's still even. 2 kills and then 2 kills again. Rocket Barrage can try to take this back for Black Dragons, but no, not just yet. Is Repsol gonna get the res? Yes! Repsol does get the res on Spider Agony, but I think in the end, that Black Dragons finally get it.
Oh man, that barrage to start things off from Pearly K. It looks so good, but the trades, I mean, this is beautiful South American Overwatch right here. The fight is never done until it's done. Yeah, the Mercy takes out the fire. Yeah, no problem. Gets the resurrection, dies to a fire strike. It's all good because regardless of the kills, we see the payload still making progress so incredibly close to the second point, and this is what we were talking about, Boop. You don't necessarily have to win the clean team fight in order to get progress on this objective. But now Ole gonna have that trance, having not been able to use it in the last fight due to being dead, and Sleepers and both Xiaozu going to be facing off once again. The Earth Rider is going to make a huge difference in this next fight, not to mention Wetters, Graviton Surge just a couple seconds away.
Oh, this could be a huge for us to be able to get the distance on them, but no, gonna decide to try a different method. Prevail. This Rocket Barrage can be the point take for your team or the loss. Oh, Darken with an absolutely huge headshot on Pearly K. This is a 5v6 on the point. Graviton Surge not going to do anything, but all you need is a headshot to type. And another great headshot onto Pizza Lover, just showing up. That scope was all Mercy had, and Prevail going to take that momentum and end it for Black Dragons. 2-kill game. It's Darken. Those head clicks, man, getting me hype.
Oh man, darkening the days for multiple members of this Black Dragons defense. Oh, it's not just, getting those kills this team is going to need, but Prevail able to, launch that ultimate, get all that splash damage on to wear down the tank play. It's all coming together for this 2-kill game in this last Rialto map, and I could not be more happy. Rank, though, still going to have that Transcendence, and that's always good to save his team against Sleeper's Earth Shatter. Dragon Strike going to be trying to tempo the fight in favor of Black Dragons, but 2Kill respond perfectly.
Yeah, Xiaozu had an opportunity to get picked off, but the supports were there. Rez is there as well. They'll be taking the Pharah out of the air. He's best equipped to do it just now. This is 65 on the point. Dragon Strike not really going to do anything either. He's going to do it the old-fashioned way. Pearly K is going to survive the Rocket Barrage and get 3. They're talking about whoever has the best Rocket Barrages will probably win it for their team, and right now that was Black Dragons.
Yeah, a very back and forth here between these two games. All of the momentum getting stopped up with an excellent usage of those rockets from Pearly K, and the ultimate discipline, from Black Dragons has been excellent as always. I thought maybe potentially that's the 4th map. You've already gotten this series, and they may be playing slightly more sloppy, but check this out. They always have something in their bank. Wetter at just 20% charge, probably going to be waiting a little bit longer before he unleashes that unwilling hug, that black hole to suck everybody inside. But there are so many ways to catch multiple members of the 2-kill gaming team here, especially around this bridge.
And Delavine caught Prevail, so this could be the end of 2Kills offense. This is a 5v4 right now on the point, thanks to that dink from Darken. Have evened it up, but hey, who needs ultimates? Everyone is going to die anyway. 2-kill, but 23 seconds left. Spawn's kind of far away. I don't know if they're going to be able to get back.
Yeah, oh, what's the point? We're all going to be dead soon, is exactly what I took away from that Boop. But no, you're right. 2-kill gaming, they need to make this work out. Both Spider Agony and Prevail can flip this in favor of their teams with that Barrage and Dragon Strike. Black Dragons themselves, though, gonna let that Dragon fly.
They're gonna end it with the combo. 1 kill, though, but that's all you're gonna need. Transcendence keeping Black Dragons healthy. No one even has to have health, other than Delvey, who was taken out with a great headshot. Darken, if you were doing this all game, we might be in a different situation right now. But Black Dragons, in the end, it was a little scary for them. Their bodies are probably a little tight, but they get to the stop on 2Kill Gaming, only getting 2 points in Rialto.
Yeah, it definitely looked like 2Kill might have just rolled that into a potentially a full map take, but they will get stopped up due to some excellent ultimate rotation. Once we saw those big CC ultimates come online for Black Dragons, that's when the tides really changed. So now 2Kill themselves going to have to try and hold before that golden box of victory. There's only pride on the line here, as Black Dragons have already taken this series, but you never want to go down, 4-0 in this case.
No one wants to go down 4-0 in
Goose
any
eggs.
case.
Goose
right?
eggs not delicious in Overwatch.
A big fat 0 is very noticeable on a score table. So they're definitely, and they're playing that way, right? 2Kill is playing the best they've played all series. So I'm just really excited to see what they're going to be able to do on a defense, if they're going to be able to hold before the yellow box of victory and take the round win. Black Dragons, though, they've been using their ultimates better all game. So and not even just this game, all match, all set. So Wetter been very, very good on that off-take.
Yeah, certainly Wetter opening up a lot of space and also providing just a lot of shielding for the rest of his team. You know that you can tank a little bit more damage, perhaps position yourself slightly more aggressively because you have that Zarya who's always looking to keep the squishies on his team safe. It looks like there will be a dueling Brigitte comps over here. 2Kill going with the full evolution of the Slambulance, like to call it the Wham Bam Thank You Mambulance, whereas Black Dragons will be sticking with Delavian on this Hanzo most likely, and I really like it. One of the difficulties of running the 3-3 is where are you going to be finding your damage. All of your tanks have to be extremely coordinated in order to make best usage of the little bits of chip damage that they can put in, while also not leaving themselves vulnerable without their cooldowns.
And Repsol is going to be on Lucio here on a defense. I wonder how that's going to go for 2Kill. As again, Lucio's been very popular in South America, more so than any other region, as Pearly K on this Brigitte is going to have to do some work and damage. Only one person on the payload thus far. Really great heal from him. Sleeper's going to get a charge kill on Zhao Zhu, and the kills are all just going to fall in this one fight. What a great engage from Black Dragons.
Black Dragons gobbling up.
Calculated.
Yeah, calculated. 2Kill looked like they might have been able to get the jump, the unexpected, very quick, close spawn contest. However, they weren't quite able to get things going. Pearly K starting things off with an excellent stun onto Xiaozu to remove that shielding right away. And check out the ultimate advantage. Sleeper's going to have that Earth Shatter, as well as Pearly K's rally to try and just carve their way through this 2Kill defense.
Ooh, Rally not going to be able to save Sleepers, though. Really not getting a lot of armor on the rest of Black Dragons. It's actually an opening for 2Kill Gaming to try to get this reset going, but they have to take advantage of it. Coalescence available for Moira, and that's what is going to get popped. Let's see if anything's going to happen because of the Fire Strike kill on Delavian. It's going to keep this in the favor for 2Kill Gaming, and Black Dragons do decide to reset.
Ooh, beautiful nade from Spider Agony to finish things off. Sleepers,
maybe not. Black Dragons coming in with an Earth Shatter a little bit too soon, Boofosaurus, as Earth Shatters can turn the fight, man.
Oh my goodness, what was that? That was actually a back cap from Black Dragons, while 2Kill were 100% focused on wearing down, getting the finishing blow on that Zenyatta Olay. The payload in the meantime had already made it to point B, nullifying all of their efforts there, and that's really going to be quite the tilter. However, 2Kill Gaming, they're going to reset their defense as a full 6. They got ultimates on line. Spider Agony with that Graviton Surge, always going to be a big one, but Black Dragons, they have that, as well as even more. The hungry Dragons from Delavian going to be looking to feast.
Unwilling Hug is not going to get anybody just yet, but now the kills are going to fall, and a great self-destruct. You saw it coming, guys. That double circle popping those pimples. Pizza Lover Letter, thanks for getting off my face, as 2Kill Game's going to win the fight.
Yeah, prevail, poppin' pimples. You got to get that alliteration going. Excellent positioning from that diva regardless, and this has been one of the first fights that 2Kill Gaming have actually won, so they have bought themselves a slight bit of respite. However, that does mean that Black Dragons will be up in terms of ultimate advantage here. They have their own combo at the ready, the Dragaton, and as is their namesake, those dragons going to be looking to feast, as Ole also ready with his Transcendence.
Ooh, Sleeper's going down first once again. Really great Transcendence, but Rocket Barrage can damage through it, but those guttural sounds, Evie. That means that Delavine was able to do the combo with Wetter. You know what, though? I'm going to go ahead and make a rule for us.
Yeah.
We can't get excited about that anymore.
Nah, man, come on. Okay, this
it happens all the time.
But it looked like it was going the way of 2Kill Gaming, but 5 is more than 2. You get 2 with the barrage, but 5 is 3 more, and what a rebound here, as this next fight is going to be potentially it for 2Kill Gaming. It's already a 6v4 on the point. They pop the Transcendence in desperation, but no, Sleepers takes that Zen all the way across the map.
Yeah, that Earth Shatter to start things off from 2Kill, not getting anybody. It was pretty much a waste. And now Black Dragons are going to have the opportunity to keep this payload going. Prevail, though, getting that ding on Della Ding himself. And 2Kill, though, bringing this back. Another back and forth fight, ending in an unexpected way.
Yeah, absolutely unexpected. The Transcendence saving it for the defense in that last hold there, absolutely. But 2Kill, they cannot rely on ultimates because they're only going to have the one on hand, Spider Agony's Graviton Surge, which has yet to find as great of pater as his competitors. So Delavine going to have that Dragon Strike on hand once again. And I am still, like the words barely want to leave my mouth. The Dragons have so scared them. Darken, though, does find that 1v1 kill onto Pearly K, and so that's going to be yet a little bit more reprieve bought for 2Kill.
Yeah, Pizza Lover going down. It's just going to mean a reset here, and there's no other way to analyze that as you're going to get pushed off the payload even more.
And now 2Kill going to be using that to take space, take advantage. What is this? Dueling Concussion Blast. Yo, I'll trade you a Zen for that Zarya. That still will move in the favor of the defense, though. Darken able to get yet another kill onto Delavine. 2Kill now going to back up behind that choke, not going to overstay their welcome, knowing that they don't have a lot of space to give, so they do need to play slightly more defensively. Keep an eye out for the Dragons from Delavine, which will certainly be hungry and looking for prey.
Man, Darken had a really great midi there. Remember that Pharaohs tend to go left and right in a predictable manner, so in your solo queue games is how you win that Pharmacy combo. Ooh, Fire at Will, Unwilling Hug, and the Rockets and the Dragons are all going to come out at the same time. And 2Kill Gaming once again looking just better than Black Dragons in these fights.
Yeah, it's very unusual, unexpected, certainly, as Pearly K takes the faster but slightly more painful reset to direct rockets at their face. However, Wetter is still trying to push this, just get, try and die as quickly as possible. Not a diva this time around, but it's still one of those off-tank feels. And Black Dragons now down to less than 60 seconds on the clock. Pizza Lover takes yet another very painful spawn.
And that's a pretty big stagger. That's going to make it so they could have gotten potentially 2 fights if they had lost the last one, but in reality, they are down to 1. And looking at these ults, it's going to be pretty even. But Wetter and Delavine are going to have the combo. That might be all you need. Let's see if they're going to be able to pull it off. It's going to be a huge one. Earthshatter going to go down, only get Sleepers. Prevail's going to follow that up with the kill, but the Rocket Barrage ain't gonna get nothing. Rez does get Sleepers in front of the rest of the team. Gotta take advantage of those out of position Mercies. Hammered down, and nothing to it. As Delavine, though, is gonna go ahead and get popped off. Wetter, they weren't able to get the combo, so 2Kill definitely has an open to continue getting this defense. Dragon Strike onto the payload, gonna zone them out, but with 6 seconds left, they actually might get another opportunity to get back here. Pizza Lover in an awkward position. Valkyrie has to get popped to save this. Are they gonna be able to touch the point? Yes, they are, but there aren't a lot of bodies left, and that will be... Oh, Tracer does come back, but once again, they're just looking for a miracle, and it doesn't look like they're going to get it, as a 2Kill Gaming comes out on top, making this a 3-1 series, and they looked great on Rialto.
Oh, absolutely. Really able to make their mark with those better than yours kinds of combos there, especially the Farah Barrage coming through with strength. So you check out this play of the game from Xiaozu, just putting in that extra bit of damage. 2K bomb from Prevail as well. Not much to it.
Ooh, and we got some tactical crouching there.
Ooh,
at the
oh
end.
boy. Oh boy.
Ooh, tactical crouch. I know what I think about it.
Spicy.
I'm okay with it. That's just my opinion. But I know a couple people who have some very strong opinions about this round. Number one is 2Kill Gaming. Where were they the whole time, Panda?
Well, that is surely something that we are going to devolve, and we're gonna find out for you, Boop. Just stick tuned and find out here. But we're going to go this one map at a time, and Brief Suns here going from Assault first. Lemon, I'm very interested. However, here's 2K. They look fantastic. They completed the map. Minute 39 seconds. This is where it all started. This is where they started to show up to the plate. They really started knocking them out of the park as well. So, I mean, going off of that, what can they take away all through and through from that Assault map that gave them headway into Rialto?
I think they started to find some momentum and started to finally feel warmed up. And we talked about before the halftime, what does being down 0-2 do to your mindset? And it didn't look like it affected them that much. They weren't like, didn't look like they were rage ulting or like feeding that much. And although they still dropped Anubis, it brought them a lot of momentum and sort of positive attitudes to go into the final map of Rialto.
Yeah, absolutely. And walking forward into Rialto, they definitely had a certain amount of information to dismantle the dragons, if you will, try to take them off of their perch, if you will. LaFon, however, I gotta know, man, walking into that point B, I mean, we knew never in the end that Black Dragons, they did take the series going up 3 in taking Assault, but the composition for me on point B was just very strange. I saw Brigitte with Genji. Is that a composition that you normally like to see? How does it normally play out, and why did they take it?
I mean, I don't necessarily know that Brigitte Genji is a good combination per se. I think that 2Kill's composition was actually more crafted to what they were seeing from Black Dragons, right? Black Dragons, the first 2 maps were not what we would call close. They were very much heavily one-sided in Black Dragon's favor. So 2Kill came back in with a structure that was sort of designed to play against Black Dragons. So I think the Brigitte Genji was sort of a feed on that. It's sort of like a taste of what they were trying to accomplish. And though it didn't work out too well on Temple of Anubis, it definitely opened up a lot more space for the tanks, which I think was kind of the story towards the last 2 parts of the last 2 maps of the series. And so I think Temple of Anubis, it was not necessarily a good composition, more a composition of necessity in that situation for 2Kill.
Absolutely. And going into our next map of Rialto, they're still looking very strong, and they took the map, in fact, surprising me out of the water. In fact, from Rialto, it seems they came out with another strange composition that we don't normally get to see all too much here. LaFon, I'd love to hear your take on this triple DPS. Again, why does it work, and why was it played so effectively?
I think one of the things about Rialto that a lot of people can sort of see just by playing the map is that how much high ground there is. How much vertical cover there is. Not necessarily high ground, but vertical cover. So your Pharah is pretty safe from things like snipers, from from just generally being shot out of the sky easily. And then on top of that, because you have a whole set of your team that's basically safe from any sort of harassment, you can run a solo tank to just shield the remainder of the front line. So I think it was a situation, again, building on map structure, building on what Black Dragons were running. They put a solo tank in towards the second part of the map, where they were able to use the vertical cover and just create some space for themselves on map geometry. So again, a good turnaround based on what they were seeing their opponent run.
Absolutely. And Lemon, Black Dragons going up 2-0 here in this Contenders tourney so far. Going forward off of this, who was your player of the match, and how come?
Delavine, man, all the time. I know we've been talking about Della Ding, and he so impressed me in the last series that I watched him before, and he's like new to the roster, replacing someone as great as Valen as the DPS, and the way that he's able to work so effectively with Pearly K, almost like they've been doing for ages. Of course, I don't know the history. Maybe a long time ago they've been on a team, but we talked about 2Kill like really starting to warm up in this series, taking Rialto due to just like the really interesting compositions, forcing Black Dragons to adapt, which they couldn't. But what the strength for Black Dragons is Pearly K on the Pharah and Delavine on the Hanzo. I feel like most of the time they're unbeatable, but once 2Kill started to bring out these strange comps, triple DPS, triple tank, you got the goats comp, all this stuff, it forced Black Dragons to play out of their comfort. But I still stick to my word that Delavine and Pearly K on the Pharah and the Hanzo, I think one of the strongest in Contenders right now.
LaFon, same question, real quickly, your player of the match and why?
I think it's the duo. Tank line for Black Dragons. They just create so much more space. it makes it tough for the DPS to actually do anything. So yeah, my duo would have to, or my player of the match is a 2-piece, and it is going to be the tank lineup for Black Dragons. A lot of space created and a lot of victory earned for in this set.
Good things do come in pairs, and as we are moving away from our second match of the day, Black Dragons winning that 2-0 over 2Kill Gaming. We still have another match for you folks at home, so stick around. It's going to be Hephaestus Esports versus Pain Gaming. I will be hanging out on the analyst desk. We're going to play some more musical chairs around the broadcast table as well. Stay tuned, rather, and we'll be right back.